Destiny 2's update to Gunnora's axe brings the best multiplier for Voltshot's Jolt we've ever seen in Destiny 2. And there's a Voltshot roll at rank 7 guaranteed this week, so it's time to get grinding. There are some great options for PvP that we'll also go over. You can max out your range and handling pretty easily. Just be aware that there are some major weak spots to the Iron Banner Slug shotgun to cover too. Also, Bungie, why do you gotta make Rumble return the same week as Iron Banner? That's just cruel. Feels a little personal, I'm not gonna lie, but that's okay. Let's move on to the axe. If you're wondering, Lego, what do you mean the best multiplier for Jolt we've ever seen in Destiny 2? Shouldn't I be looking at the updated Dark Decider auto rifle with Voltshot to get the most out of it? Well, the Arc 3.0 Jolt effect isn't just an ad clearing explosion, it's also a damage tick that lasts for 10 seconds on enemies that are jolted and still being shot at. This tick damage can be made stronger with buffs and debuffs. And the base damage jolt is even given a different multiplier depending on what weapon you use to apply the jolt. So the takeaway here is that it matters what weapon you have Voltshot on. Now you can also loop this base jolt amount from the weapon you first used to apply it. Every time you apply jolt while the timer is still up, it will keep the original jolt multiplier. So it's really important to use your strongest jolt first. And then if you're running an arc subclass, you can keep that original high jolt going with your abilities regardless of if you have ammo for your Voltshot weapon. Thanks to Mossy over in the Destiny Massive Breakdowns community, I can give you a few examples. Abilities that apply jolt are just a standard 1x multiplier, so that is what you want to use to loop the jolt, not to start it. For weapon examples, this Iron Banner auto rifle Dark Decider should only be a 1.15x multiplier, so that's why I say I wouldn't choose that one. That said, everyone has a good reason to be fond of their Ikilos SMGs with Voltshot, as they're doing a 1.53x multiplier to that base jolt damage. Now Gunnora's axe with Voltshot. Okay, y'all ready for this? Shotguns give a 2.3x multiplier to their Voltshot jolt. That is a huge jump. I was already excited about it on the Terminus Horizon Voltshot machine gun from the new Spire of the Watcher dungeon because it was a 2.16x multiplier, but then I saw Gunnora's axe with Voltshot and knew a 2.3x multiplier was on the way. So that's why I'm emphasizing this. A stronger jolt than a machine gun or even a linear fusion rifle will give, and you can use just one bullet from that to loop serious damage on a boss or any major enemy. For the rest of the perks, if you're speccing Gunnora's axe for using Voltshot in PvE, I highly recommend getting that reload speed up to the max, as you want to be able to kill an enemy and reload as fast as possible to proc Voltshot. You might be thinking Surplus looks nice for this, and it can give you up to 50 reload speed if you have all your abilities, but it's more likely you'll be hitting that plus 25 reload speed with only 2 of your abilities up. I think Threat Detector is a much more appealing option. Within 15 meters of 2 or more enemies, you'll be getting plus 55 reload speed and maxing out your reload stat at 100 with just that one perk. 2 enemies in 15 meters. That sounds much more likely than having all your abilities up to me. Now, of course, if you get Surplus instead of Threat Detector, I wouldn't be mad about it. Just wanted to point out the differences there so you could look out for both of them. Okay, let's assume our reload stat is maxed out and work on the rest. For both PvE and PvP, I'm going to recommend Fluted Barrel and Accurized rounds in the first 2 columns. I'll roll back to PvP in a second, but just for PvE, it doesn't hurt to have the extra range from Accurized, and we won't need more handling because Fluted Barrel on top of plus 25 handling from a simple arc quick charge armor mod will put our handling stat at 100. Easy. I wouldn't mind Flared Magwell or Tactical Mad for the reload speed safety, since both Surplus and Threat Detector are situational perks for our reload speed to rely on. Just saying, we could play it safe there. How you play the rest of the masterwork for PvE will be up to you, since we've already maxed out our reload speed and handling with all the perks active. Reload speed or range would be the 2 that I'd look for, since stability won't change much on Gunnora, as this is a jolting weapon, not a continual damage weapon for me, and handling won't matter much because no matter what, it is 100 with a quick charge armor mod. So lots of options. I'm not telling you for sure one straight roll for PvE because there's lots of good ways to roll it. That's something I really like about this shotgun. For PvE, once you have Voltshot and Fluted Barrel, it's kind of hard to mess up the roll. Heck, just having Voltshot is a win in my book. For PvP, it's a similar story. It's not too hard to get your range and handling to 100, but it requires a few more must-have perks. I want to say up front, I think there are better PvP slug shotguns out there. This kind of feels like a get the job done, but that's it kind of shotgun. It can max the stats, but its aim assist is so much lower than the other slug shotguns that you will really be putting yourself out for it. That said, Destiny is a game about feel, so I understand if you just love it, but I'd highly recommend going for a Heritage from Deepstone Crypt or the Inquisitor from Trials of Osiris if you just want a solid headshot machine. And if you're looking for some spicy headstone tricks or damage stacking for body shots, go check out No Reprieve, which is completely craftable to your liking. There is one thing that lets Gunnora's axe stand out in the PvP landscape, and that's the origin trait Skulking Wolf. While at low health, final blows with this weapon grant enhanced radar and remove you from the opposing enemy radar. This lasts for 10 whole seconds. That is a super long time in PvP. Think about how beneficial that would be in Trials of Osiris or competitive. You get a kill and you're in a tight spot, then you just don't show up on radar for 10 seconds to make your next sneak attack move. That's pretty legit if you learn how to master it. Okay, so maybe that sold you and you choose to continue in a pursuit of a PvP Gunnora's axe. First off, we have to add Opening Shot as a must-have perk, but you can mix and match barrels, masterwork mags, and first column perk to make sure you land where you want. If we're going for a personal god roll here, I'd go for Fluted Barrel, Accurized Rounds, and a range masterwork on top of Opening Shot. I'll have that Arc Quick Charge armor mod for the plus 25 handling, and with all these working together, I'll have maxed out my range and handling completely. I'd then choose Moving Target as my final perk choice, as aim assist is the true weakness of this weapon. Remember, it has the lowest aim assist of any legendary slug out there, so the plus 20 aim assist from Opening Shot and the plus 10 aim assist from Moving Target are great additions to the gun to bring you up to that 64 aim assist. Then if you run helmet targeting mods, you could bump it all the way up to 79 aim assist. That's not bad for having max range and handling at the same time, and going off radar for 10 seconds when you get a kill while critically wounded. The one thing I'd recommend you try to avoid is replacing an Opening Shot roll for Iron Reach. While the stats may look good to you on paper, remember that you would be losing out on extra accuracy and, more importantly, the plus 20 aim assist from Opening Shot, and we badly need that aim assist on this weapon. Good luck on the Iron Banner grind this week. I know I'll be searching for a Voltshot roll myself. This has been LEGO with Flash. Until next time, GG.